This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 800. That's right. It's the perfect score on an NPTE episode. So, that being said, check out NPTE Final Frontier as well. But make sure that you are subscribed and downloading wherever you are listening to your podcast, such as NPTE Final Frontier Podcast. And make sure that you're buying a t-shirt over Pro Wrestling
statement.
Oh,
Spotify,
no, is it not?
Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio,
yeah,
YouTube,
Spotify,
MarkinOut.com.
wherever. Yeah, MarkinOut.com. Buy a t-shirt. Why not? ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut.
Yeah, it's
like
by
us
the
on
way,
Facebook.
summer's coming up. We have great summer shirts up there.
We do, and we may have more. So keep watching. Keep on refreshing that and buying every time that you do refresh.
Very patriotic.
But
It's the 250th anniversary of America. If you would like to celebrate, ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut. Get the Stars and Stripes Markin Out t-shirt.
Yeah, and celebrate by giving us a like on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at MarkinOut, on TikTok at MarkinOut, on Instagram at MarkinOut11. You can follow me, Dave the Rave, on all social media platforms at DavidPTDPT. Follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog on Twitter. And follow Brandon at BTTG161. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. How was your week?
I honestly don't remember it.
Nice. That's exciting.
I remember like stuff from my week, but nothing that I would talk about now. It would have to be spoken about like in a few months, I guess. But I don't know what else I did. But how about yourself? How was your week?
Yeah, nice. Well, mine was good. It was very good. Very, very good.
I think, by the way, I think maybe I'm like all thrown off because normally I would go to Cheesecake Factory on Sunday. This Sunday we had this past Sunday we had a pay-per-view, a premium live event. So I went on Saturday instead of Sunday. So I went twice last week. None this week.
Okay.
And then I watched the Clash in Italy on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. Well, talking about Clash in Italy, kicked off with Cody Rhodes picking up the victory over Gunther to retain his championship.
I want to mention they had a real set this time. They had real columns by the entranceway. I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
But this crowd was super split on Cody and Gunther.
Yeah, very split, but I don't know. I was fully supportive of Gunther over this one. I think that Cody Rhodes, the heel turn is approaching, and I need some change.
I liked when Cody went for that Cody cutter and Gunther attempted the sleeper hold, which he eventually did lock it in, but Cody got out of the sleeper. They played that up throughout the whole match where, I mean, Cody even at one point tried for his own sleeper. I thought the ending was weird. Obviously, there was a reason for that. Cody hits the crossroads. He gets the 3, but something... It was weird. I didn't notice it. And then, obviously, they did like a... Gunther was pissed off. He was saying that his foot was under the rope or on the rope or whatever. It touched the rope as well. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like this match was too short.
I mean,
this was
I don't know, for me,
ESPN, but I felt like it was too short.
And that's, yeah, for me, this was a perfect time match. I didn't want more. Both of these wrestlers, it didn't really grip me into their match to want an extra 5 to 10 minutes. I was fine with the timing of it, and I do question the ending of it, but I guess it sets up an unfinished business between Gunther and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
which is okay. But next up, you had Rhea Ripley pick the victory over Jade Cargill to retain her championship, and similar endings.
Annoying.
Yeah, back-to-back similar endings.
So Rhea Ripley controlled most of this match. I like the punch-for-punch spot that they both did. It led to a bunch of reversals. I liked Rhea Ripley's double kick, the counter to Jaded. I don't know if we've ever seen anybody counter Jaded like that before. But Mia Yim and B-Fab made their way ringside. Jade Cargill was able to get the pump kick, but Rhea reverses a Jaded again. And then she hit Jaded. B-Fab ends up, like you were saying, gets Rhea Ripley's leg on the rope. Why they would do a spot like that back-to-back matches is absolutely beyond me. And then Charlotte shows up to take them out. And then she puts Rhea Ripley's foot on the rope. That's 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide, gets the victory off that. But I don't understand how you possibly see that you were going to do a spot like that with Gunther and then do a spot like that. It's not exactly 100% the exact same spot, but it's still, you're getting a limb on the rope.
Yeah, and definitely one of those things where it makes you question everything. And even that rope spot where I feel everybody's pointing the finger and saying that Raquel should have gotten...
B-Fab,
wasn't reaching...
You moved ahead to the next goddamn rope spot.
Yeah, that rope spot is more standout to me, is where Jade, I guess, was supposed to have her foot on the rope or under the rope, and Raquel went to go grab it and put it under there, but she couldn't reach it.
That's the wrong show. The wrong match.
Aye.
It's B-Fab.
Yeah.
Moving on, Brock Lesnar picked up the victory over Obafemi. I think Brock basically did what Oba did to him the last event. Obafemi kicked out of a bunch of F5s. He got out of the Kimura lock. Oba kicked out of another F5 after that Kimura. Brock hit one through the commentary table. Oba got up and attacked Brock Lesnar and had a little bit of a comeback. He almost hit that fall from grace, but Brock got out of that, hit another F5, got the victory. Basically sets up Brock versus Obafemi 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I predicted it.
You don't say I predicted it.
Yeah, no, I called it from the start,
You're still on the
wall
Gunther train.
for number 3, But next up, you had Sol Ruca pick up the victory over Becky Lynch to become the new IC champion. I'm just really thankful that she hit that soul snatcher correctly.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
I liked the match. I thought
she didn't botch it.
Again, I don't like the way you said that.
But yeah, I don't know how to. It was good.
They had good back and forth in this match. Almost seemed like Sol Ruca controlled more of this than Becky Lynch did. I found that to be interesting. Becky Lynch turned the first Soul Snatcher attempt into a submission attempt, and then Sol Ruca was able to reverse that with the crossface. I like that whole sequence there. Eventually, Sol Ruca got crotched on the top rope because Becky Lynch used Jessica Carr, and Jessica Carr went into the ropes. Didn't affect her much in the match, though. And then Becky Lynch spent a majority of this match, I felt at least, arguing with Jessica Carr. At one point, Becky Lynch went for the Soul Snatcher. And Sol Ruca turned that into a manhandle slam. I thought that was a great spot. And then Becky Lynch went for a manhandle slam. And when she lifted her up, man, that was such an awesome Soul Snatcher finish. She lifted her up for that manhandle slam. And Sol Ruca got up on the turnbuckle and hit the Soul Snatcher. I thought that was great.
Yeah, for sure.
Main event.
Next up, you had the main event. Roman Reigns picked the victory over Jacob Fatu in tribal combat to retain his championship.
I think this was another good main event for Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Also, I like that they had those steps in the crowd to fight on. I wish they fought more on them. I wish they utilized. I felt like they had so many opportunities throughout this and Monday Night Raw to use that, and they just didn't. But this match, I think it was, honestly, I feel like it was pretty tame for what I was expecting this to be. That spot where Roman went for a spear and Jacob Fatu, like, absolutely crushed him in the corner, I thought that was amazing. That was probably my favorite part of this match. Just like the absolute, like, fortitude that went into that spot, I thought was great. Roman Reigns speared Jacob Fatu through a table, hit another spear, got the victory, and then the Usos came out to stand with Roman, and then the MFT were in the crowd, and it left Jacob Fatu with two paths, and obviously he goes up the path with Roman Reigns, and then we go to Monday Night Raw, where the Bloodline have the acknowledgement ceremony. Jacob Fatu had to acknowledge Roman Reigns, and he came out and he acknowledged Roman Reigns. Seemingly has a problem with Jey Uso. I don't know where that's gonna, or if that's gonna lead to anything, but I don't know where this is leading to at this point. I saw some very crazy facts about the Bloodline. Have you seen any recently?
No, like what?
The Bloodline has outlasted. It has lasted longer than the NWO from WCW, which is a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, I did see that one.
I believe it goes past the Attitude Era. So, but I mean, if they could find a way to freshen it up, I've never been sour on the Bloodline. I know there are so many people who are like, "Oh God, we're doing this again. This sucks." But if they could find a way to keep it very interesting, I don't know where this leads to. It would have been nice if they let Jacob Fatu win the championship.
I think that he is going to win that championship, and I don't know what else is going to happen to this entire Bloodline storyline. It hasn't done as much. It's not the same to me as it was a few years ago, the Bloodline storylines. It's kind of, for me, it's just there. It's just taking up space right now. But next up, you had Obafemi pick up the victory over Penta, Carmelo Hayes, and Solo to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. I mean, when you have Obafemi in this matchup, how do you not choose him unless there's an interference?
And they all tried to attack him during his entrance, and he took them all out and then continued his entrance. I thought that was a really cool thing for them to do. But Tala Tonga was able to get involved here. Obafemi takes him out, or I think he took Obafemi out, actually, and then Obafemi came back from that and took him out, took everyone else out. So basically, have him win the King of the Ring, have Brock on night 1 or something like that, have him go to SummerSlam night 2. The winner of the King of the Ring gets a title shot at SummerSlam. Have him wrestle back-to-back nights. Brock's a former King of the Ring. I think that's could play into that, and then literally have him beat Roman Reigns for the championship.
I think that could be good.
After that, we had Sol Ruca. She kind of made light of Becky Lynch losing the championship. She put herself over. It was a simple segment there. And then Lyra Valkyria later on got herself a match while they were in the middle of an interview, her and Bailey was not really pleased with that. I feel like she shouldn't be pleased with Lyra doing that. But we'll have Lyra Valkyria versus Sol Ruka coming up for the Intercontinental Championship. After that, we had the LWO pick up the victory over Rusev and Ethan Page. It was a very LWO heavy episode if you were there in person. I believe they teamed up on main event as well, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
But the heels prevented Rey Mysterio from being tagged in for a good chunk of this match. Finally gets tagged in, takes over for a little bit. Ethan Page, I thought this was a very good, like, the last, I forget how long, maybe like 2 minutes or so. Ethan Page pushes Rey Mysterio into Dragon Lee, which almost cost Rey Mysterio the match. And then later on, Dragon Lee ends up sending Rusev into Ethan Page. And that allowed for Rey Mysterio to hit that 619 and then the splash and get the victory off of that. So I like that it happened to them and then they retaliated back with basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I do want to see something more continue with Rusev and Ethan Page. I don't know what. I don't see them as becoming like tag team champions, but I want to see more strength behind them because I think that Ethan Page and Rusev do need to be pushed as potentially champions.
It's Rusev Page? Does that work?
Yeah.
Not really. It worked better in my head.
Page?
Instead of Rusev Day, Rusev Page. It doesn't work. I don't know.
I mean, if anything, they should go back to Rusev Day at some point. Next match you had Io Sky pick up the victory over Roxanne Perez, Lash Legend, and Julia to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Julia.
This one could have went anyway.
Julia was over big time in Italy.
Italia?
Which, is that how you say Italy? And how do you say Italy in Italian?
Huh. You're asking the wrong person.
It would be nice if that's how fans reacted all over for her. But I thought this was a great match. They showed off the strength of Lash Legend. I was assuming that Io Sky would be the one to win this. I'm trying to... I every time I hear... It just like triggered me in my head. I scroll through TikTok and I see people opening cards and they never pronounce Io's name right, but I don't remember. I don't know if they say Io or something like that.
Oh.
But it's like...
Well, that just doesn't make sense.
I swear to God, most of the people opening cards are not fans. There's no way. There are so many people that just pronounce the names all wrong. And I'm like, how did they get these cards and I'm sitting here like with nothing?
Yeah, a lot of them are just doing it for the sake of doing it.
I think that's what it is. But Io, I thought, was going to walk out of this winning. I feel like Io could actually become the Queen of the Ring here. I think it would have been absolutely awesome if Julia had won. But Lash Legend hit the Lash extension on Julia. Io broke that up with a stomp, and then she hit the over the moonsault onto Julia to get the victory. So I feel like she has to win the Queen of the Ring.
I agree. Next up, you had Seth Rollins
by the way,
the victory. Yeah.
Backstage, Adam Pearce spoke with Maxine. Maxine was kind of annoyed that she wasn't even considered for the Queen of the Ring tournament. And Adam Pearce was like, well, if a spot opens up, I'll let you know, or something like that. And then Otis questioned her about her and Austin Theory. And she kind of got pissed off, and she's like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to see a heel turn with her?
I mean, she knows what she's doing. Who knows?
It's very possible. I would be okay with it. I mean, but the problem is, I feel like once she separates from Otis and Tozawa, I do worry about Otis and Tozawa, what happens to them. I
would like to see all three of them wrestling. That's why I said the other week it would be perfect if Otis and Tozawa beat the Vision for the tag team championships.
That would make
and
sense.
now
to
who
me.
knows what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main event, Seth Rollins picked up the victory over Braun Breaker. Both of them, this was annoying. I don't know if I like the whole Fatal 4-Way introduction of the first round for the King of the Ring tournament. But both of them are in the King of the Ring tournament, so it irks me that this could have been just a King of the Ring tournament match. And I liked the match. I thought it was very even. But
I think that, yeah, I thought it was a very good match. But like you said, I feel like some of these matches are kind of like, I don't know. To me, it seems like the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament, I'm still questioning a lot. I
like Seth Rollins turning the spear into the pedigree to put Braun Breaker through the commentary table. Hits another one in the ring.
It didn't. I'll be honest, that didn't do anything for me.
I thought it was cool.
We've seen it before.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like because he went from the one table to the other.
We've seen it. We've seen it. It did nothing to me.
But he hits another one in the ring. Braun Breaker kicked out. Austin Theory got involved. And he got taken out at first, but he clocked Seth Rollins with the title. Montez Ford showed up to take him out. Braun Breaker speared him. He speared Seth Rollins, and Seth kicked out of that. And then, again, we had another foot on the rope spot.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman saved Braun Breaker. So Seth Rollins then got in Paul Heyman's face and pulled him into a spear. So he went through the barricade. I thought that was a good barricade spot.
That was.
As I like tired of the barricade spots as I am, I thought this was a good barricade spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Breaker speared Seth again. Seth pulled a Brett. He used the championship around his waist when the referee wasn't there. And Braun Breaker knocked himself out. He got stomped, and Seth won. Good finish, but this, like I said, could have just been a King of the Ring match.
Yeah, agreed.
But then again, they'd maybe want to have both of them advance into the next round.
True.
Moving to NXT, we kicked it off with Zarya picking up the victory over Lizzie Rain. You had Tatum Paxley come out and join. She first taunted Zarya and then joined commentary. But I thought Lizzie Rain had a really good showing in this match. Zarya, I felt like, definitely needed the victory here.
I agree. I think that Lizzie Rain has a lot going for her, but Zarya needs a lot going for her right now.
I liked Zarya. She caught the that springboard with the German suplex. That was probably my favorite part of that match. But Tatum Paxley stopped Zarya from attacking after the match. She gave her a title shot for next week. And then later on backstage, Zarya attacked Tatum Paxley. So we will be seeing Tatum Paxley versus Zarya for that championship. I don't know what the outcome of that is. I feel like if you're doing that and you set it up the way you set it up, Zarya has to win, but I don't want to see Tatum Paxley lose the title yet.
I don't want to see her lose the title yet either, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be questionable. You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be questionable. But next up, you had Jackson Drake pick up the victory over Tate Wilder.
Missed the match over there.
Oh, OTM. All right. I'll give you some space if you want to splice it.
No.
OTM picked up the victory over the Colleen.
Which they fought before the bell. I thought this was a good tag team match with Lucian Price being like the standout of this. But it was, I mean, nothing. We've been saying this for what feels like years now. They need to do something with OTM.
Mm-hmm.
So, what that is, I don't know, but it's like start and stop. So we need like a definitive, hey, these are these guys, and we need to establish them better than they've been.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to Jackson Drake, picking up the victory over Tate Wilder. beforehand, EK Prosper, I could swear that the promo was him, or not the promo, the segment was him telling Tate Wilder to slow down. Tate Wilder didn't want anything to do with that. And him going as fast as he was working for him at first in the match. The Vanity Project got involved, though. Wilder almost hit the Hurricane Rana on Micah, but she ends up slamming him into the ring post. That leads to Jackson Drake getting the victory off of that bad spot, basically. And then it's basically I told you so, like you should have slowed down sort of situation. So, After that, Lola Vice came out, and she spoke about proving the doubters wrong. She asked who's next for the championship, and Kalani Jordan came out. And she's like, does that mean I'm next? And Kalani Jordan went into that whole spiel that we've heard recently where they've had similar pasts, where Lola went to AAA, and she was praised for winning the championship down there. She went to TNA, and she was kicked out of the locker room and criticized for it. And then Ren QCC came out, and Kendall Gray said that Kalani isn't the only person who wants the championship, and that she pinned both Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan. And then they argued, and Lola pitched them facing off to see who faces her, Great American Bash. And then Kalani Jordan took the title from Lola Vice. Lola Vice accidentally hit Kendall Gray with the back fist. When I was watching that segment, I was like, I could swear to God I've seen this segment before. But I don't know if they have.
It's very positive it was a repeat.
I don't know.
Very positive.
Possible?
Positive? Possible.
You smell burnt toast?
Might as well.
What does that mean?
Next up, you had Alexis Key. I don't know. I'm tired.
Might as well have
I'm tired. I work. I don't know. I'm tired. I work with kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brandon.
Where's your muffin?
And my shirt's too damn small.
That's not even the same.
Exactly. Next up, Alexis King picked up the victory over Romeo Moreno to retain.
I think Alexis King was great in this match. A lot of people still go on Twitter. LOL, he got fired from, or Tony didn't care about him, and now he's nothing in NXT. LOL, he sucks. He always sucked. I think Alexis King was absolutely fantastic in this match.
Yeah, plus, let's not forget about the video of him. His dad was just in a video game, and he got to be featured watching his dad debut in a video game.
Not debut, but return.
Return, yeah. So, that sounds like a win to me.
I also thought that Romeo was good in this match as well, but, I mean, he took Birthright out after Lexis King had moved, but Lexis King eventually hit the coronation, got the victory. Earlier in the night, we were supposed to see Dark State versus Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights, which was then postponed because Saquon Sugars attacked Cutler before the match.
What is with us?
Yeah, okay. I don't know, man. This is episode 800.
Yeah.
But Dark State attacked Jasper Troy as well backstage later on. But we go to the match. Dark State picks up the victory over Bourne and Heights. I think Dark State worked well here. And it was nice to see a mini NQCC reunion of sorts. But it felt like they didn't feel like a team anymore here. Which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
The Doomsday Device that ended this match, I thought had some really good distance to it. But I don't know what's next for Dark State here.
I got nothing.
Main event
on that one.
Saw Tony D'Angelo pick up the victory over Cam Hendricks to retain the NXT Championship. I thought it was hilarious how pissed off Booker T was that Naraku was ringside to watch over the championship. I don't know if that's because he thought maybe Naraku would get involved and Cam Hendricks is like his guy here. But Cam hit a big kick to start the match, stayed on Tony D'Angelo, and then towards the end of the match, for whatever reason, he went to grab a chair. Mason Rook showed up, who now has merchandise on WWE Shop, and he stopped that. And we'll also be seeing him face Naraku next week, where if he wins, he gets a match with Tony D'Angelo. But Tony ends the match with that spine buster. I thought this was a really good, first main event title match for Cam Hendricks. And hopefully we'll see more from him.
Time will tell.
But that is NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It kicked off with Gunther destroying the ringside area, and he said nothing happens on SmackDown without him getting what he wants. Cody Rhodes came out and said Gunther's right about his foot being under the rope, and they should have a rematch on SmackDown. Then Sami Zayn showed up and said that both of them wronged him, and Sami questioned when Cody's going to teach him a lesson that Cody said he was going to teach him. This got physical. Sami Zayn actually saved Cody Rhodes this week. And then Gunther pulled Sami Zayn into Cody. That really angered Sami Zayn. And he went backstage and spoke to Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis said, stay out of Cody and Gunther's business. And then he said that he has a meeting to get to. And it turned out he's got a meeting with Chad Gable. And Chad Gable got a big pop there. And then later on, he spoke to Rey Fenix and said the reason why he flew to Italy was to apologize. And he now understands the culture of Lucha Libre. And Rey Fenix accepted it. He said, I'm not the only person you need to apologize to. We had Raquel Rodriguez pick up the victory over Jacy Jayne, Bayley, and Kiana James in the Queen of the Ring. Kiana James actually had Julia go to the ring with her. Fatal Influence and Liv Morgan both stayed in the back. But Bayley, I would say, was definitely the star of this match early on. Everyone overall, I think, shined in this. That double pin spot from Jacy to Kiana and Bayley, I thought was great. That Hurricane Rana spot with Bayley and Jacy, I thought was crazy. The way Kiana James kept breaking up pins, I thought she had a shot at winning the match. But Jacy in the end ends up attacking Julia. Julia takes her out, and Kiana James had a pin going on. She thought it was Julia who had knocked her feet off the ropes. It was Jacy Jayne who knocked her feet off the ropes. And from that, Raquel was eventually able to hit the Tejana Bomb on Kiana James, get the victory. I was surprised to see Jacy not advance there, but Kiana blamed Julia afterwards. She pushed her. The fans rallied behind Julia. Julia snapped and attacked her, and the fans went nuts. And then backstage, Fatal Influence beat down Paige and Brie Bella. Jacy Jayne was pissed off that she lost that match. I guess rightfully so. After that, we had Tala Tonga pick up the victory over Royce Keys. To me, this is like Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, where this literally just could have been a King of the Ring match. Both of them are in the King of the Ring. Royce Keys, throughout the match, kept trying to power slam Tala Tonga. Finally gets it done. Solo and Tama Tonga got involved. That led to Tala Tonga getting the victory there. And then the MFT continued the attack after the match. R-Truth ran down to try to make the series, saved R-Truth and made him leave. And Keys was there by himself to get taken out. I don't know the last time we saw a spot like that. I thought this was a great spot there. And then backstage, R-Truth spoke to Damian Priest. The War Raiders end up showing up and telling R-Truth that when he's ready to put the tag team titles on the line, they're ready to take the tag team titles. Very interesting to see the AAA Tag Team Championships on SmackDown. And then again later on, Solo Sikoa tried to recruit Royce Keys, gave him the whole speech about who called you. I called you. Did Roman call you? Did Jacob Fatu call you? Did so-and-so, the Usos, blah, blah, blah. I thought this was a good segment. I don't know where it's going to lead to, though. We had Rhea Ripley come out, and she spoke about finally being done with Jade Cargill, although her knee is banged up from Jade. But Jade failed to take her out at Clash in Italy, and then she mentioned Charlotte Flair helping her. Flair showed up. spoke about the Queen of the Ring, said that she's going to win the Queen of the Ring and face Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. Then Tiffany Stratton showed up, said that she wants Rhea's title as well. Jade Cargill, Mia Yim, and B-Fab came out. They did some trash talking. It turned into a match. Jade Cargill, Mia Yim picked up the victory over Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. Again, I think it was nice to see Mia Yim in a match like this. She did a good job at holding the ring, but she went for the figure four at one point. Charlotte reversed it, tagged in Stratton. That sit-out powerbomb counter from Jade Cargill to Tiffany Stratton was absolutely awesome. I thought it was about to be a pile driver, but that was definitely my favorite spot on SmackDown. But B-Fab took Charlotte Flair out. Jade hit the pump kick, attempted Jaded on Tiffany Stratton. Stratton got out of it, and she countered it. She goes for the prettiest moonsault ever. Jade countered that and hit Jaded, got the victory off of that. Later on, Chelsea Green wanted Tiffany Stratton to be ringside with her for her match. Tiffany Stratton said no. And then later on, we saw Lash Legend pick up the victory over Chelsea Green. This had some of the cat and mouse stuff in it. Nia Jax was involved. Chelsea dove out onto Nia Jax and took her and Lash Legend out. But they get back in the ring. Lash Legend powered out of the Unpretty Her twice. Hit the lash extension. Got the victory off of that. I thought we were going to see Tiffany Stratton help Chelsea. We had Ricky Saints pick up the victory over Carmelo Hayes. Ricky Saints attacked Carmelo before the bell. Melo came back from that. And despite the attack, I think the match was pretty even. Saints hit the Revolution DDT. Melo kicked out. Melo hits the first 48. Saints kicked out. There was almost a count out, a tease from last week, but it was Melo this time. He got back in the ring, and eventually Ricky Saints uses his tights to get the victory there. So now they're tied 1-1. In the main event, we saw Dominic Mysterio pick up the victory over Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, and Damian Priest. I thought this was a good, by the way, advanced in the King of the Ring. I thought this was a good main event. Breaker took all of them out to start the match. Dom tried to get Damian Priest to not attack him. I guess sort of like a Judgment Day reunion. It didn't work at first. Later on, they did take down Braun Breaker together. But Dominic Mysterio, for the most part, I think really held his own in this match. Liv Morgan, though, prevented Damian Priest from winning. He hit the Razor's Edge. She distracted the referee. Braun Breaker speared Damian Priest. And Trick Williams hit the trick shot. Dominic pulled the referee out. Trick ends up clotheslined through the commentary table from Braun Breaker. JD McDonough shows up. He gets hit with South of Heaven. Liv Morgan low-blowed Damian Priest. And then Dominic Mysterio hit the 619. Gets the victory. I didn't expect that at all. I thought for sure we'd get Braun Breaker. Now it's going to be Dominic Mysterio versus Obafemi. So I think we all have to assume that Obafemi, like I said during Monday Night Raw, Obafemi, to me, has to win the King of the Ring. So that is SmackDown. Going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
This is Aaron Sheik. You listen to the Markin Out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out, episode 800. Moving back to AAA Noche de Los Grandes. It kicked off with Fenix picking up the victory over Laredo Kid to become the new World Cruiserweight Champion. Fenix started this match off on absolute fire. Almost hit the Mexican Muscle Buster in that first minute or so. But Laredo Kid came back from that. He ends up taking the turnbuckle pad off. Rey Mysterio, the general manager, is on commentary. Doesn't say a word about that. I didn't get that. Phoenix eventually hits the Muscle Buster. Tarantes looked at the exposed turnbuckle. Laredo Kid ends up low-blowing Phoenix in that moment. He hit the Frog Splash. Phoenix kicked out of that. Laredo Kid got sent into that exposed turnbuckle. He ate another Mexican muscle buster. And then Phoenix won off of that. I liked that cloverleaf spot on the turnbuckle from Laredo Kid. That was probably my favorite part of that match. But Rey Mysterio, I didn't get that at all. And that's not the first time. Well, that's not the only time, I should say. That was the first time. But after that, Vikingo picked up the victory over El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. to become the new Latin American champion. Wagner started this with the same amount of energy and fire that Phoenix started. That double stomp from Vikingo from the top rope onto the apron I thought was awesome. Or off the apron. Omos showed up during this, and Dorian Roldan distracted the referee so Omos could knock Wagner down. Galeno ran down, fought with Omos. I thought for sure we were going to see like an overpowering there, but it was somewhat evenly matched at that moment. Mini Vikingo showed up and took Vikingo down. Omos, though, knocked Dr. Wagner Jr. out. Or Hijo did Dr. Wagner Jr. And Vikingo hit the 630 and got the victory. I wasn't expecting Wagner to lose that match. But again, all that's going down, even though the referee's not seeing it, Rey Mysterio, the general manager, is literally watching everything and seeing all of that and not doing anything about that. That, to me, was truly bizarre. And again, that wasn't the only time either. The last time. We saw the War Raiders pick up the victory over Psycho Clown and Pagano to become the new tag team champions. I like the War Raiders coming out in Lucha masks. I thought those were pretty cool. But for the most part, Pagano and Psycho Clown were on the same page. At one point, Pagano ends up kicking Ivar. And Ivar goes into Psycho Clown. Pagano then went to clothesline Ivar, and he accidentally took out Psycho Clown. That led to the War Raiders getting the victory. After the match, Pagano helped Psycho Clown up. Psycho Clown was pissed, and they pushed each other, they argued, and Pagano ends up leaving. The War Raiders end up attacking Psycho Clown. Pagano looked like he was going to maybe go back and help. He ended up leaving. The main event, literally one of the best matches I've ever seen, I think. El Grande Americano picks up the victory over Original in a mask versus mask no DQ match. I liked how Original had the mariachi band, and the fans thought it was El Grande Americano coming out, so they went nuts. And then they realized who it was. The heat from that was absolutely incredible. And the reaction for El Grande Americano was absolutely insane also. Original to start the match, or even before the match, I should say, hits El Grande Americano with a guitar. I like that inverted angle slam from the steps from Original. Americano had his mask ripped, which I'm glad they did that. I think that's a huge aspect in these matches, and there was a lot of blood throughout this match, which is another big aspect typically that you would see in these mask versus mask matches. Americano ripped Original's mask later on. He got all bloodied. I like that table spot. That was a ridiculously sized table, though. It was really, really small. I thought the chair spot was good. Los Americanos Hermanos showed up and slammed Americano onto the commentary table. And then Julio put him through the commentary table. Los Americanos ran down to fight with them. Bravo dove from mad high up in the crowd to take them out. I thought that was a great spot. Original grabbed Ojitos, and he ends up hitting him with that walking stick. Pimpy shows up, dressed as a mariachi, smashes a guitar over Original, unmasks, and gets this, insane reaction. Americano pulls out a bull rope. OG ends up low-blowing him. He used it. Andrea Basarte made her way to the front row to cheer. And OG got in her face. She's showing him she's got a ticket. And Americano was able to turn the tables there. OG ends up working on Americano's ankle, though. He used the chair. He got him with the ankle lock. Americano reversed it with La Cavernaria. OG reversed that into an ankle lock again. I think there was a good tease of a tap out there. But Americano got out of it. He tried the running headbutt, but his ankle gave out. That Chaos Theory kick out I thought was great. They both got up. OG went for a headbutt and it was ducked. And then Americano, I forget what the spot was right before that. He ends up picking up OG and limps his way into a speeding headbutt to get the victory. And the crowd went absolutely nuts. And then they did the traditional unmasking ceremony. OG said that he went on a quest to defeat all the luchadors that he hated. And he learned everything about lucha. He learned about Mexico, the culture. And he said he'll always be original El Grande Americano. He'll always be the Americano. But from now on, he is the only, El Grande Americano is the only Americano. And he unmasked, he revealed it was Chad Gable, his whole family was there. He said he'll be back in AAA. They were absolutely losing their minds. They were chanting for Chad Gable. This was beautiful. This was truly, truly one of the best matches. So, well done to everybody involved there. Moving over to TNA Impact. Opened with Eddie Edwards picking up the victory over BDE. I think this was a good match for BDE. Overall, not much to it, but Alicia got involved, the system got involved, which almost led to BDE losing. And then a bit after that, they got involved again, and it did lead to BDE losing. And then before the system could beat him down, Fabian Eichner tried to make the save. They overpowered him this week. And then Leon Slater ran down, basically doing what Fabian Eichner did last week or the other week. So then the three of them teamed up and took Bear Bronson down. AJ Francis came out. He put himself over and how great this year has been. He mentioned cutting Casey Navarro and Rich Swann. And then he named a few artists who had performed at that venue where they were. And said that he wants to perform a song. And he starts performing a song. Elijah interrupted. AJ served Elijah with a cease and desist. And he said that he acquired the name and image of Elijah, Elias, and Ezekiel, as well as Elijah's whole catalog. And Elijah said he was going to perform, and then AJ attacked him. Very, very interesting segment. I don't know. I mean, I was a fan of that casket coffin match. I don't know if we'll see another one of those. And I don't necessarily want to see one so soon, but it should be interesting to see where they go from there. You had Santino and Indy Hartwell pick up the victory over Stax and Ariana Grace. Frankie Kazarian did commentary. But Ariana tried to fight Santino. He wouldn't do it. He just wanted to fight Stax. And finally, she ends up slapping him. Indy Hartwell gets involved. He kind of pulls Indy off because she didn't tag in. I liked Stax trying Santino's headbutt. He ends up missing that. I think Santino is still so good in the ring, though. But Ariana Grace ends up taking the Cobra from Santino. And she goes to use it. Indy Hartwell saves Santino, and Stax ends up getting hit. Santino then had Indy Hartwell put the Cobra on. He had another Cobra. They both hit dual Cobras on Stax and Ariana and got the victory off of that. You had Eric Young come out, and he went over a list of frauds who he claims he exposed, and also named Santana. And he said Santana's sick. He'll beat him for the championship. And then Santana came out. They went back and forth. I thought this was a good exchange. And Santana said that instead of next week, they should just fight right then and there. And Eric Young low blowed him, hit him with the pile driver. I I mean, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but I would hope that Santana is walking out still champion next week. After that, we had Mr. Elegance pick up the victory over Lei Ying Lee. Xia Brookside did commentary for this. I could have done without this match. The Elegance brand got involved. They got kicked from ringside. Lee ends up crotching him off the top turnbuckle. She puts him in an airplane spin. Xia Brookside got involved. Elegance raked Lee's eyes behind the referee's back. He hit the DDT on her. I think if this was to happen at an independent wrestling show, it'd be fine. It's just a weird comedy match to have with the champion. Like, where does that put her? She couldn't beat Mr. Elegance. Even though Xia Brookside got involved, I didn't like that. And then they announced Xia Brookside versus Lei Ying Lee for the championship coming up. The main event, quite interesting. Yeah, the Righteous pick up the victory of the Hardys in a Wicked Garden match. This was, I guess, TNA's weekly no rules hardcore match. I like the setup for it. This had a lot of barbed wire. The fans were chanting, "This is awesome." They literally only did a bunch of reversals and then Dutch landed on a barbed wire board. But that was a huge aspect of this match. Overall, it was kind of slow. It was very chaotic. Jeff Hardy kept getting tangled in that barbed wire. I think it's crazy that a match like this aired on TV. And then at one point, Vincent took out a poisonous flower, put it in Jeff Hardy's mouth, and that took Jeff Hardy out. He tried to come back. He couldn't. And the Righteous ended up getting the victory off of that. And then the lights went out after the match, and when the lights came back on, the Hardys were gone. Is this the end of that feud? I don't know. I truly hope so. I feel like that feud should have ended quite some time ago. Also, Myla Grace is no longer with TNA. And I feel like TNA has a really good knockouts division, and they don't know what to do with them. And it's a damn shame that Myla Grace wasn't used more, because I very much so enjoyed her on television. Her and Harley Hudson, you're pushing these teams and then you don't do anything with them. The Knockouts Tag Team Championships haven't been defended in 4 months. So it really sucks that they don't put more focus on that. But that is TNA. Hey, Brennan. Got any shout-outs?
Hey there, pal. It's me, Mickey Mouse, and you're listening to Brandon Shoutouts.
Spider Noir gets the first shout-out. Have you heard anything about this?
Only from you.
It's a brand new series on Prime Video starring Nicolas Cage that follows his character as a 1930s private investigator. And he ends up coming out of retirement to take down crime in New York City. The first time that this character was on a movie or TV show, I think it was Into the Spider-Verse. That's the first time I ever heard of Spider Noir. I'm pretty sure he was from the comic books before that. But I really enjoyed this series. And I think it's cool. They give you a feature that you could watch in black and white, or you could watch in color, and you could actually switch between the two, and it picks up right where you left off. Where it's not 100% seamless, but it's a little maybe a second buffer between the switchover. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was I don't know any other show that offers that feature. I thought that was really cool. It's not part of the MCU, but given how everything with Spider-Man is, I think it would be cool to see him show up in something. And I saw people complaining, why is Nicolas Cage, a 60-whatever-year-old, playing Spider-Man? And it's brother, he's a private investigator from the 30s. It's the perfect role. I think it's such a good character and such a good casting, and he's been the character already, so I would recommend watching Spider Noir. Even if you don't like Spider-Man, I mean, there's obviously like Spider-Man aspects to it, like he shoots web and stuff, and you have the villains, Sandman and other villains are in there, so it's like there is that superhero aspect of this, but if you're not aware of who anyone is, I think you'll still be fine watching it.
Now, is this in association to Marvel? Like,
yeah, it's Marvel.
How is
it's
this?
It's not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's Sony. It's Sony and
Oh.
Amazon Prime.
I don't get. I forgot how Sony could still retain the rights to some Spider-Man to do
It's
stuff
not
like
some
this.
Spider-Man. It's all Spider-Man.
Oh.
Even the MCU version of Spider-Man is still it's MCU. It's Marvel and Sony.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Buy them out.
Right?
Buy them out. Stop. You have the money. Just buy them out.
That might be some sort of monopoly ruling. Who knows?
The mouse can do it.
My next shout out goes to the Four Seasons, which is back for season 2. I forget, did you watch season 1? It's on Netflix.
Which one?
The Four Seasons. Tina Fey.
Oh, I saw like 2 episodes, but it's not really. I didn't really get into it. It wasn't my
Forte.
humor. It was very
Hilarious.
dry, from what I remember.
If you did not see season 1, it's an adaptation of the movie that stars Alan Alda and Carol Burnett. And it's a group of friends. One couple splits up. They all go through the different seasons in that friend group. Like I said, Tina Fey's in it, Will Forte, a bunch of others, Coleman Domingo. But it picks up right where season 1 ends. Do I say spoiler? I mean, it deals with the grief following a death. If you watch season 1, then you know that Steve Carell's character was the one that died. But it's a comedy.
Oh, I didn't get that far.
It's a comedy. He's in season 2 as well, spoiler alert. But
what?
and it's honestly, it's a quick watch. Honestly, you could get through both seasons really quickly. And it's nice. This season they're in Italy for a bit. So you get Christmas time in Italy. That'd be a really cool thing to experience. Mm-hmm. My last shout out goes to Peebo Bryson, who unfortunately passed away this week at the age of 75. He was an R&B singer with songs like If Ever You're in My Arms Again, Reaching for the Sky. He and Roberta Flack sang the song Tonight I Celebrate My Love. He sang the soundtrack versions of Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion, and then A Whole New World with Regina Bell. And in 2019, I booked a trip to Disney World where me and my brother specifically we had a trip planned out, and they announced the Flower and Garden Festival concerts, and I was like, brother, I really want to see Peebo Bryson. So we flew down specifically earlier to go see
What's
Peebo
funny is
Bryson.
you said brother, and you. What's funny is you said brother, and you probably actually talking to your brother.
But we flew down, and a few weeks before that, he unfortunately had a heart attack, and he got replaced, so we didn't get to see him there. But he recovered from his heart attack, and unfortunately he had a stroke this week, so it's unfortunate, but go listen to his music. If you're a Disney fan, you obviously know those 2 songs. They were huge in the 90s. And like I said, go listen to his other music. So those are my shout-outs. Now it's time for
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. I feel like I should work backwards.
Oh, okay, do it.
You had mentioned Brian Pillman being in WWE 2K26 now.
Mm-hmm.
I think, so the ringside pass has been absolute trash. I think this is probably the best attempt at what we should be getting, but there's still things that need to be worked out here. But it's Brian Pillman, Tori Wilson, La Parka, and Matt Cardona. And I popped. They gave a superstar part for La Parka with LWO sunglasses, which is like based on the original La Parka in WCW wore something similar. So I think that's pretty cool that they included that little slight Easter egg there. They changed the Filthy Animals Rey Mysterio Jr. from Rey 1999 to Rey 2001. And they changed the mask to... When they first announced this, I went through the whole, like, oh my god, this is amazing if Filthy Animals Rey Mysterio's in it with his unmasked and everything, and then it was just a black mask. So they gave Rey Mysterio a mask that a similar mask, I should say, that Chavo Guerrero got from the crowd and put on Rey Mysterio for like a minute. So I'll give them credit for that at least, but it's just not what they should have used. Mm-hmm. They also don't have...
What about the CEO that got included?
They also don't have the Filthy Animals theme song. They added Crossing Borders from the WWE Originals soundtrack, so I will also say that if for whatever reason they couldn't get the Filthy Animals, any of their theme songs, I think that's a good replacement, even though the years obviously don't line up there. Mm-hmm. For some reason, they also added AJ Styles' Evil Ways theme song, but you can't use it in the jukebox. You can only use it for the entrances. But there's no 2013 AJ Styles to match that. But I found that very interesting that they got that theme song in the game. And then, like you mentioned, which is just absolutely ridiculous that they added, it's the CEO of Take-Two. And I had a super, super, super quick mark out moment with that because I used him and won the match. His theme song is My Way by Frank Sinatra. And I rushed to the jukebox to add that to the playlist. You can't use it. It's just like the AJ Styles Evil Ways theme song.
That sucks.
I don't know what the license agreements are there. I don't know. When Cody Rhodes first returned to the game, you couldn't use Kingdom on the jukebox, but I don't understand how that works at all.
Like, it's just so...
Like Many Men was in the game the other year, and you couldn't use that because of licensing or something. It just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But I think combined with that and other aspects that were part of this ringside pass, I feel like 2K is very, very, very out of touch with the fan base.
Yeah, why include this person in there? Like, it just... None of it
new
makes sense to me.
Entrance, new commentary lines. No Kendall Gray. She's not in the game. No Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Laredo Kid's not in the game. Las Toxicas, not in the game. Obviously Flommer's in it, but Fabi Apache, she's not in the game. They were all pretty heavily featured back a few months ago. I don't know what they're doing here. So
nothing good.
And then when I said I'd work back, I would go to Clash in Italy. Santino Marella was sitting in the crowd. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. I did like that.
I feel like
I was
gonna say I feel like for everyone here. I mean, unless it wasn't. What were you gonna say?
I mean, for me, my markup moments was that I got a Shawn Michaels autograph. Yeah, I didn't really care too much about Santino.
No, that's not what I was going to after that.
Oh, yeah, I got a Shawn Michaels autograph card. It was a Panini Immaculate, which I love the Immaculate series.
But it's not Immaculate. He's got no tip, so if you know, you know.
Yeah, it's perfect in my eyes, you know. I There's something about an autograph. Like, I really like the Immaculate Series where this autograph on the clear background where it's not
It's very
on top
rare
of an
that
image.
people say, I love Panini.
Yeah, I really like these Immaculate series.
Did
I
you,
got
by
a-
the way,
a
did you see
Hogan.
the new, the cosmic ones from Topps?
Yeah, I'm not that big of a
Really?
fan.
I thought those were really cool looking. I didn't get the whole like ET theme of it, but
Yeah, a little bit too much for me. I like kind of a simple aspect. That's why I do like the Immaculate series, because it is pretty simple.
I thought it worked for some people. Like Sol Ruka, like it works for Sol Ruka. It would be cool to have signed cards from some of those.
I don't know. I thought that it was very good, you know? So I got that. I got a Hogan and a Papa Shango, which I'm very happy about. You know?
Is that
So I'm very happy about that.
is that it for your
And the
mark
Papa
out
Shango.
moments?
Yeah, seeing Cardona in the video game, watch his stuff, but that was like last week. Yeah, I think that's it.
Which we're waiting on Zack Ryder, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But when I said I was going back in time, Saturday night, Noche de los Grandes. I spoke.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke
Yeah.
like in length about it earlier. El Grande Americano versus Original. Mask versus mask match. I marked out throughout this whole entire match, before the match, after the match. I thought this was seriously such a good match. I watched it 5 times. And what's interesting is I saw other people say, I watched this match such and such amount of times. I don't typically watch matches over again like that.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed it on Monday Night Raw. After Monday Night Raw was over, they aired it on Netflix.
Yeah, this match would... I wasn't expecting to stay awake for all of it either. And it was incredible. It was just incredible. The story of everything. I mean, as me and you both agreed, this was not a WrestleMania match.
It was on paper.
And this is why.
If you take all of this into consideration, it's like 100% like WrestleMania-esque, but you weren't going to get that with that crowd, without that crowd there.
Exactly. Yes, and they deserve to have this sort of a matchup, and it was everything leading up to it, from the parade that they had for El Grande Americano, from their
Original
walkout,
getting
like
there
them,
and people throwing water at him, and he's throwing everything back, and they're like heavily booing him.
Yeah.
That was great. And then
I
in
mean,
the match,
everything.
obviously, you have the stuff with...
I mean, also, before you go to the match, I mean, El Grande Americano singing to the crowd, and you could see him visibly, like, in tears with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, that was special.
But
it was special for him, so it was cool.
The spot with Ojito, the spot with Pimpy, Andrea Basarte.
Pimpy!
Everything was just like... I mean, I'll say spoiler alert, I feel like this is going to be my match of the year.
I mean, this matchup had everything. And what I like is that
Mystico's
you didn't
entrance
have
was better. Didn't you see how many people sang?
Yeah, okay. Like, the thing I liked a lot was that... oh, you threw me off.
The Grand Slam is going to be so much better. WWE sucks. Such and such is better than this.
Oh, what I was going to say, I really liked that they didn't have an abusive amount of false finishes, I feel.
No.
You know, like in a matchup like this, you may have a ton of false finishes. I feel like we didn't really get too many false finishes.
And it was weird. I saw
you
people
gotta-
comparing this match to other matches, and I was like, I don't see how... Like, I understand because it's a mask versus mask match, you can compare the two, but, like, they're, at the same time, they're nothing alike.
Yeah, I like the involvement of El Grande Americano's girlfriend.
Andrea Basarte.
What's her name? Yeah, I
Who
loved
now
her
has a
involvement.
t-shirt
how
on
she came out
WWE
when he was,
Shop. I don't know if she's getting proceeds
yeah, he
or
was
what,
getting
but-
choked out, and she came out to kind of have that little support moment, and
Took me
you
5
had
watches to
so-
realize that they were matching.
yeah, you had so much, and that the end of it was just phenomenal. Well, also like you mentioned, what's the name of the wrestler? Pimpinella.
Yeah, Pimpy.
That entire moment where they took out off that mask and smashed that guitar, like there was so much happening in this match.
Bro,
it
the
was just
pop from the crowd for Pimpy unmasking, that was fantastic.
Oh, that Pimpy unmasking. I mean, and what's funny is at first you didn't know it was Pimpy, but then the
right off the bat knew. I
had no clue. I had no clue. But what I really like is Pimpy. I feel like the reveal was so smooth.
Yeah.
As well, it was a smooth transition of the reveal, and also I'm going to say that the end of the match where they actually paid just tradition. They kept the tradition where Gable was busted open too.
Which unfortunately turned black and white for the Monday Night Raw replay.
Yeah, he busted open, revealing himself, and the crowd going nuts for Gable and chanting Gable, Gable, Gable. And it was just from going such a heel person to having the fans show appreciation for the story that he just told with El Grande Americano was incredible. I always thought it was pretty funny how his daughter wanted to high five him.
Yeah.
And he high fived her, and then she saw the blood on her hand, and she actually wiped it on her little brother because she was grossed out by it. I thought that was pretty funny.
If you were given a rating,
10
stars,
10 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10. That works.
Yeah.
Now, if someone was like, "Oh, what's your favorite wrestling match of all time?" Like your top 5 or whatever, could you see that being potentially in it or no?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Like
I'm not too sure.
The way that I felt about this match is exactly how I feel with, well, not exactly, but similarly to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn with Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I love the total. My name is Chad Gable. This is my date of birth. This is where I'm from. This is who I am. And then I liked how when he was leaving with his family, like his family in the ring was awesome. And when they all left, I like how they had his entire information on the Tron visibly there. So this way
it was just like how you would traditionally have it.
It was perfect, and I think that the handing over of the mask over to him, saying how you are, like, just for the record, I am the OG one, but now
Which
it's
is funny, that got
this
him
is
booed.
yours.
They were cheering him, and that
Yeah.
got him booed, and then he handed it over, and obviously they cheered him again. But
Yeah, I thought all of that was just so special.
I can't stop
And
raving about this match. I truly can't.
something one of my favorite parts was at the end. I thought it was really like a movie ending,
Yeah.
where you had him and his girlfriend kissing each other, and then they're playing the music, and it was just like a perfect
still
send-off.
selling his leg while dancing.
Yeah, doing the spin dance.
I'm
and
a
selling
little
the leg injury.
I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get the Macho Man Elizabeth shoulder spot, but
He wouldn't be able to. His leg was
I don't
totally
know.
out.
I don't know.
He can't. No point for that. His leg would have been.
I don't know.
He did it perfect.
But I
honestly,
thought this
with
was
everything.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
everything that I don't need to change absolutely anything from this. This was absolutely A plus.
I actually preferred the ending that they had with the kissing, the small little dance to the music, looking into each other's eyes, and then let's not forget about the dive spot from.
Bravo.
Yeah, Bravo. Like, that dive spot was great. You had the Creed's involvement, which was awesome. And, yeah.
Undertaker,
great
Booker
matchup.
of the Year. Pete Dunne, Producer of the Year, perhaps.
Yeah, that was the big news, too, is that Pete Dunne was the producer of that matchup. Kudos.
I I wish
It
I
was a
could have been there
honestly,
for this match. I would love
it was
to
beautiful.
have owned a piece of this match somehow, some way. Fantastic.
You know, to be honest, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, it was a beautiful story, and the ending, you had a happy ending, and it was just beautiful.
I wish I knew
And it's
everybody
really
in this match so I could go up to them, shake their hands, and be like, brother, this is... I mean, the fans were chanting it. This is wrestling. SOS Lucha.
I mean, and it's just hilarious that this is... Like, they were trying to find the next luchador that was going to be big for AAA and this and that, and it ended up being a pro wrestler from West Germany that they tossed a mask on, and who wasn't even originally supposed to be in the storyline.
Right.
Because if you remember, this all really got started because Gable got injured, like shoot injury, where they had to do something with the mask. Like, it's like a weird thought that what if Chad Gable never actually got injured and we never had that mask on him?
And he's had at least 2 hell of matches in AAA.
Yeah, I mean, now we got to see what's next. I mean, championship, Dirty Dom, watch out.
Well, I mean, he's guaranteed that title shot, so I think we're 100% seeing El Grande Americano walk away with that championship at Triple Mania. Obviously, night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Night 1's in Las Vegas, they announced. It'd be great to go there. Too bad. But those are the Mark Out moments of the week. That is episode 800. Thank you so much for literally over 15 years of your support. You're listening. If you're brand new, thank you for checking us out. You can follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, CM Sweeney85, David PTDPT on all platforms. Facebook.com/Markin Out, YouTube, and Instagram, Markin Out 11, ProWrestlingTees.com/Markin Out if you'd like to support us in that way. At Markin Out on TikTok. You could rate, review, subscribe on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, markinout.com, and we wish you the
Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Have a fantastic week. Arr!